And it's bad news for Marvel because we'll probably never see X-Men or any of its characters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
In the Avengers because they're doing so well.
Right.
Deadpool has already domestically has already outgrossed every X-Men film in just 2 weeks. So that whole X-Men cinematic universe is gonna be is on.
There's an actual rivalry going on now. It's not just dominated by
By Marvel.
Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think they might turn they might turn Wolverine into the eye patch guy.
right. Okay.
Might appear in every movie, to
Right. I mean, which is a good thing, really. I mean,
yeah,
because Fox has a different vision for these characters, right? Or how
yeah,
to take it, and Marvel's doing its own things. It's not Marvel all the
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. It's not
it
it's
allows
not Marvel. It's not Marvel's lighthearted, colorful, PG-13, hosted by Iron Man, Tony Stark's kind of comic book movie all the time. Now you have Fox with their own edgier vision, I guess, and then you have WB's darker vision. I hope they don't stay with those approaches. I hope they go with whatever works for the character and the story.
well, they have a deep enough money pool to kind of
Hmm.
take different approaches. Like they
Right.
can basically fail a couple of times, really.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So we'll see how it goes. Batman versus Superman is coming up, so we'll see how it performs. And from the reactions I get, people are kind of hyped up for this movie.
For Batman versus
Yeah.
Superman.
Yep.
Well, according to Drew McQueenie from Hitfix, formerly of Anyco News, according to him, WB is worried after its test screenings. According to him, audiences responded to Batman, and surprisingly, they also responded to Lex Luger.
Luther.
I think it's Luger, right?
No, it's Luther.
It's
Lex
Luthor. Okay, I'm getting the wrestler uh, mixed up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
Lex Luger.
you should not watch movie and watch WWE. Those two don't
Yeah,
mix.
I don't think it's WWE. It's WCW. I think like
Oh,
Lex
okay,
Luger.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't follow wrestling anymore or
Right,
professional wrestling. Okay, yeah.
right. Hey man, that's real.
I know. They're pros after all, right? Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. Surprisingly, they responded to Lex Luthor, and nothing about Superman. And apparently, WB is kind of worried, and it's not surprising though because that darker, edgier look does work better for Batman than Superman. I guess the word of mouth from the test screening hasn't been that great.
Well, you know the movies, right? Even with the Superman movies,
Uh-huh.
they weren't that positive. People thought it was just okay.
The reaction was okay. I mean, it did make 300 million in the US. It's as good as the first Iron Man. It's better than the first couple Captain Americas and Thor, and yeah. So it's better than those. Yeah, the reviews were lukewarm. Yeah, not as positive as the other Marvel movies.
Right.
Um,
It's not like not like Nolan's Batman, for example. They're hyped
yeah,
up. They're kind of like, oh, it's
yeah,
an okay Superman movie, kind of like that.
right, right. Yeah, look great, but it has issues with the story.
Right.
And I think the reaction, I guess the test screenings, all in a similar vein too.
They are going toward the Justice League with the Batman versus Superman movies, right? They're going with
Yeah,
their own Wonder Woman
but
movie.
that's why WB is worried. If this one that's supposed to launch all these other movies doesn't do well and doesn't get a good reaction, then hey, all the other movies might be jeopardized.
Yeah, I think it'll do all right. I mean, it's just like the people I saw, Ben Affleck as Batman. He's all right. I think he makes a
Yeah,
good Batman.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
the test audiences responded to too.
right, but Henry Cavill is kind of like a known quality. We know what he is, right? His other movies didn't
Uh-huh.
really register because,
Yeah,
right? He's like you say, he lacks wattage.
yeah. Well, he's kind of he's vanilla. He doesn't have any of Christopher Reeve's charm.
Right, exactly. So as people probably found out is that like people doesn't react to him because hey, he doesn't have that it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's the weird thing. When you see Christopher Reeves, he has that it factor. When you have it, you kind of take it for granted. You feel like, oh, they could have stick any vanilla actor in there and it'll work. But I guess with the previous two iterations of Superman, we know that, hey, that it's actually kind of hard to find someone who's, kind of vanilla, but also kind of charming at the same time.
We'll have to see, but I think Batman versus Superman will do okay, probably even great, because the feeling out there is that people are excited about the movie, test screening aside.
I'm not sure. The reactions to the trailer have been mixed. The reactions to the trailer hasn't been as great as the reaction for like Captain America 3 Civil War. It has actually kind of mixed because like when they released, I think the second trailer, people were like, wait a minute, you just ruined it for us. It was supposed to be Batman versus Superman, and we found out that it was really not going to be Batman versus Superman. It's really Batman and Superman versus a super powerful thing monster created by Lex Luthor.
Well, but
The
that's
Abomination.
that's really the story. It was never. I mean, they kind of don't get along in the beginning, right? It's one of those movies.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I guess what people felt like was they ruined the whole thing for them because they were expecting Batman versus Superman, and now they know that, hey, they're gonna patch things up and fight a bigger monster.
But I think people who follow the comics kind of knew
Uh,
where that was going, though.
they might have, but still, the reaction to the trailer to that was like, hey, you could at least give us some surprise instead of ruining it all for us.
Okay,
And,
let me put.
yeah.
Yeah, let me put it this way. There is going to be some exchange of blows between Batman and Superman in the movie. They're going to patch it up to fight a bigger threat. That's how the story goes. And the title is just Batman versus Superman, right? But it's not really that. It's just like, oh, they have a grudge, then they come to respect each other. They team up and form the Justice League.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's one of the main problems, as opposed to like Captain America Civil War, where that there are definitely two sides. They're gonna fight, and it's gonna be a battle. Whereas Superman, Batman versus Superman is now we know going in that we won't get that matchup. They're just gonna tag team together later. So it kind of takes away some of that anticipation. Like, hey, we're gonna get a matchup between day versus night, darkness versus.
Oh, come on, Sen. If you follow wrestling, you should know this would have happened anyway, right?
No, in wrestling, they actually go through. You still get Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, and Ultimate Warrior, won, and
Right. No, well, they have this.
You don't go in and go, oh, what in the middle of the match, some other guy comes in and they team up and fight some other guy.
No, that's what happened too. Some guy just run out toward the ring and start beating up one of the guys, and they.
Yeah, but if you didn't tell us, if you didn't win it for us before the match, we would have been happy with it. Okay. Right? People might have been happy with it if it wasn't won in the trailer.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Yes, we'll leave it at that.